so amazing. Everyone, please welcome to the show, Ty Smith.
What is really on Fokios and Fokaramas? I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. Welcome to my channel, Modern Renaissance Man. If you are someone that's been subscribed to my channel for a long time, double check to make sure that you are. But if you are fairly new to the channel, get an idea of what this channel is about. What do? Go to my channel, click on playlist. All these different things I do on this channel. See all these different thumbnails? Those are all different categories of things that I do on this channel, from comedy to cooking to DIY when it comes to fixing cars. There's a lot of things I do on this channel. So check the channel out in its entirety before you subscribe. I'm pretty sure you'll find something on here that you like. What's going on, folks and Fokaramas? Welcome to my channel. I'm Ty Smith, Modern Renaissance Man. As always, and I'm going to continue to do it until y'all just get tired of it, because I really want y'all to keep doing this. Double check to make sure that you still are subscribed to my channel, because I'm telling you, people are being unsubscribed from the channel. Don't forget, if you like the content that I'm putting up, give the video a thumbs up so it can be circulated within the YouTube algorithm. If you want to support the channel, patreon.com/Modern Renaissance Man is how you would do that. $1 a month is how you can support the channel. If you do, great. If you don't, great. That's not what I'm in this for. That's not what I'm in this for. But for some of you who just recently, a lot of you guys definitely want to see and ask me, how can you support the channel? That's how you can do it. You can also do it through Cash App, but I'm not, look, I don't have all the stuff yet to be getting all that out there to show you all the little tags and all that. I don't right now. So anyway, patreon.com/Modern Renaissance Man. You're paying 12 months a year to support the channel. Just $1, right? Okay. So here we are again with the witches of the View. And apparently someone said, Ty, can you please react to this, what Whoopi Goldberg said? But at the same time, what they were talking about is in reference to so-called Desantis is getting ready to bring back slavery. I mean, anyway, this clip came from The View, apparently. And shout out to Dave Rubin, for doing this. And I'm going to play that clip from here, and I'm going to let you guys see it and hear it. And then we're going to go from there, because you know how I like to bring it, okay? I don't just go by what people tell me. So this is very interesting, though. Watch this. Check this out. Let me see if I can get y'all the right scenery here. There we go. Ba-boom. Share that with you guys. And here, check this out.
Trying to get through everything that's happened over the weekend and what's all the insanity going on in the world. Like Wednesday, Florida's Board of Education approved what they're calling standards for African-American history. I feel like they didn't talk to any African-Americans, because we could have told them about the history, and nor have anyone seemingly gone to the Smithsonian. We're telling you this history, it's our American history, because you need to know so we don't repeat it. And here you come, DeSantis, trying to repeat it. Well, you know what? As long as the Smithsonian is standing, as long as there are books, as long as there are families, because remember, we didn't have books. All these stories come to us from our families. You don't call our families liars. They know what happened, because their grandma's grandma told them. You, sir, I can't even say the word.
Yeah.
You're a disgrace. We'll be right back.
Yeah, whatever. Fortunately, we got the curricula right here, ladies and gentlemen. The Florida State Academic Standards Social Studies of 2023. First and foremost, let me just go ahead and say this. If we got this stuff passed down from our grandmas, we wouldn't be confused about this. If we really got a lot of this history passed down from our grandmas, we would know that post-slavery, Black people, we were killing it. But let me digress from that. I'll get back into that a little bit later, okay? But here you have it right here. The Florida State Academic Standards of Social... I'm sorry, y'all, I get excited. I talk real fast. Forgive me. Florida State Academic Standard Social Studies of 2023, okay? Look what this is right here. The standards are associated by strands. The coding provided below directs the user to which strand each benchmark is associated with, okay? But here's the AA, African American History 2023. Let's go down to that. African American History strand right there. 1.1 is to recognize African American inventors and explorers. Lonnie Johnson, inventor. Macy Jemison, George Washington Carver. African American history strand. Positive influences and contributions by African Americans. Identify African American artists, Aretha Franklin, Charles White. This is Abraham Lincoln portrait, James Earl Jones, Maya Angelou. American history strand, AA.1. Positive influences and contributions by African Americans. Identify African Americans who demonstrated civic service. Secretary of State Colin Powell, Civil Air Patrol, Captain Lieutenant Willa Beatrice Brown, Carter G. Woodson, Senator Hiram Revels. Identify oral traditions and folktales of African Americans. And this right here says, Nancy the Spider, Tale of the Midnight Goat Thief, right? So anyway, let me just stop right there just for a quick second, ladies and gentlemen, and just tell you guys and share with you guys, for her to say things that were passed down by our relatives, etc., what is that doing right there? Huh? What is that doing right there? Identify. That's what that says. See that? Identify oral traditions. Isn't that the whole thing what Whoopi Goldberg just got done saying? Pass down the things that from our grandma. Well, he got it in there. Well, it ain't all of it. Now, some of these things can be anecdote, which means, they can be something that somebody, family member, or they went through on a personal level, which I completely understand, okay? But let me digress from that and continue on with this right here. African American history strand, this right here. Positive influence and contributions by African Americans. Identify African Americans who demonstrated heroism and patriotism. Booker T. Washington, Jesse Owens, Tuskegee Airmen, Martin Luther King Jr., Rosa Parks, President Barack Obama, Lieutenant Vernon Baker, Sergeant First Class Melvin. There's also, man, dude, I ain't trying to be funny. I might be jumping the gun on this. Thomas Sowell? What? Thomas Sowell? Larry Elder? I'm talking about ones that are still alive right now. What? Jason Riley? What? But like I said, I don't know. Let me keep on. Positive influence and contributions and by African Americans. Identify African American community leaders. Ty Smith? No. Yeah, for real. Who made positive contributions in the state of Florida. Zora Neale Hurston, Florida Highwayman Marcy McLeod Bethune, Evan B. Ford, Bessie Coleman, General Daniel or Chappie James, Bob Hayes, Sylvia Fowles. Why not give contributions and give homage and honor to the African Americans who had an impact in the state that you live in? Loving this. African American history right here. Resiliency, contributions, and influence of African Americans on the United States beginning in the colonial era through westward expansion. Examine the life of African Americans in the colonial era. Clarification. Instructions include what life was like for the earliest slaves and the emancipated in North America. Now, I don't know all the details that's going to all entail, but the fact that it says instructions include what life was like for the earliest slaves and the emancipated in North America. Examine the Underground Railroad and how former slaves partnered with other free people and groups in assisting those escaping from slavery, white people. Anyway, examine key figures and events in the abolitionist movements, which if they do that, I hope and pray that they get a lot of good stuff in there. Like find out that of the 56 whatever forefathers, that only 15 of them had slaves. And of the 15 that had slaves, they all did not treat them like the movies, like Roots, all that stuff depicted it, which is a bunch of lies. Now, am I saying that what happened to slaves didn't happen? The sexual assaulting, I can't say the word that rhymes with grape, selling, beating, whipping. I'm not saying all that stuff didn't happen. That's not what I'm saying. But what I am saying, you cannot go based off of what you saw in Roots or Amistad. That is some of the stuff that happened, but you just can't solely base it on it because that's the only way they want to get us to see it. But what you should do, give us all the American history, the African American history, any slavery that took place in America needs to all be put out there. Slavery with the Irish, slavery with the Indians, slavery with the blacks, Slavs. Give us a world view of everything that happened before we came over here so people can see that it was very common and there's nothing unique and special about America, okay? But y'all know how I do. Let me see if I got my paper over here so I can, so I can show you something here. Tell you something. Slavery was not about race initially, and it wasn't. Slavery was, and like it is today, is about money. 20 to 40% of indigenous people are enslaved by other indigenous people, And that's something that was going on during the Roman Empire and the slave empire. In 1501 to 1875, 12.7 million. Listen to this. 1501 to 1875, 12.7 million Africans were enslaved in the transatlantic slave trade. Guess what? Check this out. I want you to listen to this. I'll just give you a little bit of history here. 43% went to Portugal. I said this already. 24 to 26% went to the English. 11% went to the French. 8 to 15% went to the Spanish. 4 to 5% went to the Dutch. 2.4% to the United States. 1% to Denmark. So United States had one of the lowest percentage of black slaves who, by the way, were sold into slavery by other black slaves. But let me digress from that because y'all don't want to go there. Y'all don't want the truth of that. But of those slaves, America had 2%. But the way that they would have you guys thinking is that America had every last slave, every last black slave in the whole goddamn African continent. They had them all. Like no other countries had it. But again, 43% went to Portugal? 43%. Anyway, yeah, all y'all don't want to go there, huh? The way that you guys are acting in America, you would think that you would be acting like that in Brazil. Anyway, let me digress from that. Okay. So, if racism is America's biggest original sin, then by God, what about the rest of these countries? Now, if I ask you guys, was slavery wrong? You would say yes, right? Right? But was it, if slavery, China, India, everybody participated in the trading of human beings or trafficking of human beings. And if you guys are so concerned about slavery, you do know it's still going on today. Yeah, with black people still involved in it as well. But we're going to digress from that because this is going to show you if you really do care about this so-called thing that happened to black people, why aren't you caring about what's happening to them right now? What about the kids that sold into slavery right now? And America is one of the biggest purchasers of it. But let me get done. I'm sorry, y'all. Let me digress from that. Because this is the history they don't want to talk to you guys about. Let's stick with what's the situation at hand. But I just wanted to give y'all that right there. We're not going to go into the percentage of black people in some of them southern states that own slaves as well. We're not going to go into it that Indians, when slavery was over with, Indians were the only ones that didn't have to let go of the slaves. They still had a huge percentage of black slaves. Yeah, black ones. But let me digress from that. Let's continue on with this so-called Desantis trying to bring slavery back BS that Whoopi Goldberg pushed out there, okay? Anywho, identify freedoms and rights secured for many and by former slaves. Instructions will include the Emancipation Proclamation, 13, 14, and 15 amendments to the Constitution of the United States, examine the roles and contributions of significant African Americans during westward expansion, Benjamin, Pap Singleton, James Beckwourth, Buffalo Soldiers, York. What about Lemuel Haynes or Hoover, Amistad? Anyway, examine the experiences and contributions of African Americans in early Florida, which is cool. Here's another one, folks. I'm just going to read through these, okay? Identify Afro-Euroism, trade routes, and methods prior to the development of the Atlantic slave trade. Oh boy. Instructions include how slavery was utilized in Asian, European, and African cultures. That's what they scared of. Ooh, I'm going to tell you what they scared of. They're scared that what you're going to find out is that you're not all that special, black people. When it comes to, oh, we were enslaved, our ancestors, we were kings, we were queens. Because according to this curriculum right here, they're going to show you where all this stuff, oh, I'm so glad they're doing it, show the originality of it so you can see that everybody had this going on and there is nothing unique and special about the fact that this happened in America. We weren't taken from our lands and all this, and you were sold by other Negroes that look just like you. Yeah, okay, anyway, I know, I love this. Absolutely. Well, you would love that because you were talking. Don't try to sit there and deflect from the truth because you pissed off that I'm bringing this and you have no argument against this. Instructions include how slavery was utilized in Asian, European, and African cultures. Instructions include the similarities and differences between serfdom and slavery. Servitude, indentured service. There is a difference between indentured service and people that were slaves, but that's another story. Instructions include the use of maps to identify trade routes. describe and contact European explorers with systematic slave trading in Africa, examine the evolution of labor force and the use of indentured servitude contracts. That's what they not going to tell you, because I did this video the other day to tell you guys that there was a major person that they don't want to tell y'all about. Anthony B. Johnson was the first black man who was an indentured servant himself. He was an indentured servant himself. He served out his indentured servitude. And guess what ended up happening? He sponsored other black ones to come over here to the Americas to be an indentured servant as well. So when they serve out their indentured servitude, guess what would happen? They too would be able to be free and go get their own land and do their own thing and possibly do the same exact thing too. But because he was an indentured servant himself, he knew what it took. He knew what you were supposed to do in order to serve out the fullness of that indentured servitude. He had a black person that he sponsored to come over here that did not do it, did not live up to it. So guess what he did? He took it to a white judge, and guess what? He won. And that man ended up being Anthony B. Johnson's slave for the rest of his life because he didn't I'm sorry, I'm going too fast. I know I get excited. He didn't fulfill the full contract of his indentured servitude. So Anthony B. Johnson, we don't want to talk about their history. He was the first black man to legally own a slave by paper. Anyway, let's digress from that, because I know I'm pissing a lot of Negroes off. Man, you just meant, no, you want the truth? There it is. There it is. Just like y'all don't like to hear about black on black crime. We are responsible for 90% of killing each other, but y'all don't want to hear that. All y'all want to focus on is the 10% of the white people that, anyway, let me digress from that. I'm sorry, y'all. I told y'all this is my jam, though. Let me get back on this. All right. Analyze slave revolts that happened in early colonial America and how political leaders reacted. The 1712 revolt in New York City. Examine the service and sacrifice of African patriots during the Revolutionary era. Crippus Attucks, Peter Salem, James Armistead. There it is. Yes, James Armistead was a beast. Y'all don't, I'm telling y'all, this is what I'm liking. Because what this is going to show that even during these times when slavery was going on in America, there were blacks who were doing great things and doing awesome things during the time that slavery was going on. But what it's going to show y'all is that we were united more than you think. Okay? Explain early congressional actions regarding the institution of slavery, Northwest Ordinance of 1787, 3/5 compromise, which y'all don't know. They weren't saying that black people are only 3/5 of a person. It had nothing to do with that. Y'all have any idea that if you actually read it, you will find out that the whole purpose of that 3/5 clause was to actually keep people from actually having it like there was slavery. Because guess what they tried to do? They tried to count their slaves. They try to count their slaves as being able to uphold their vote so they can actually have more slavery going on. But y'all don't know that, right? Y'all think that, oh, they ought to say we 3/5 of a person. No, it's not. See, here's the deal. If they felt in the South the slave was their property, but they wanted to use those slaves as the means of getting all those votes in, guess what happened up north? The people said, well, guess what? My horse is a property. My chair is property. You know, my wagon is property. My house is property. So if we're going to count property as a means to actually getting ready to get these votes and everything up, then we're going to use that too. So actually what it did, it actually hindered them from actually being able to actually have more representation down there in that area when it came to those people with the Southern mindset. But let's digress from that too, because they're not going to tell you that either. Anyway, act prohibiting importation of slaves. Like y'all don't know about Plymouth Rock, right? Y'all don't know about Plymouth Rock? When they showed up with those slaves on Plymouth Rock, guess what the Pilgrims did? They arrested those people. They arrested those people for having those slaves on there. They freed the slaves on there with Plymouth Rock. Yeah, read it. Don't believe me? Go look it up. They freed those black slaves and they arrested those people who were trying to have those blacks as slaves. But we're going to digress from that. Explain the effect of the cotton industry on the expansion of slavery due to Eli Whitney's cotton gin. Examine the various duties and trades performed by slaves: agriculture work, painting, carpentry, tailoring, domestic service, blacksmithing, transportation. Woo, a lot in here. Examine the Underground Railroad and its importance to those seeking freedom. Instructions include how collaboration of free blacks, white churches, organizations assisted with the Underground Railroad: Harriet Tubman, William Lambert, Levi Coffin, William Steele. Instructions include the use of spirituals and symbols as a form of communication, coordination, and coding. We know that they sung and made their, follow the drinking gourd. We're not going to get into all that, y'all. I'm sorry. I just get excited about this stuff. Identify political figures who strove to abolish the institution of slavery. Thaddeus Stevens, Abraham Lincoln, Zachariah Chandler. Evaluate various abolitionist movements that continuously push to end slavery. Instructions include society. Look, this is a lot, y'all. I'm not going to go through all this. My point is, look at all this. Examine the condition of slavery as it existed in Africa, Asia, and the Americas. Analyze the development of labor systems using indentured servitude, contracts with English settlers, Africans early in Jamestown, Virginia. Y'all, this is going to demolish a lot of things that a lot of folks don't want to happen, and that's the freaking truth. There is a lot of stuff that's going to be brought in here, and to you who think that DeSantis is going to be using this as a means to usher back in slavery, y'all, let me just tell you, what Whoopi Goldberg is showing you guys right here is they want you to do everything you can to not allow this curricula to get in there, because you know what's going to happen? Their curricula is going to do something called show you the truth. And guess what the Bible says? You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. If anything that DeSantis is going to be presenting in here with this curricula is going to be any type of lies, trust me when I tell you, I love this stuff. I'm going to be in there to eat it up and show you, oh no, they lied about that right there. I love the fact that they're bringing the truth there, because again, when you see it, y'all gonna look at this and get the same revelation that I did. But that's what they don't want y'all to have. They don't want you to have the revelation of the how we came to where we are right now. They don't want you to have the revelation to where, yes, you should be happy. You should be happy that, be it if your ancestors were stolen, or if they came over here through indentured servitude, if they were sponsored to come over here through indentured servitude by other blacks, that what we are living in right now today, the greatest country in this world, we are benefiting from that. Because if you don't like it here, you can take your black butt back over to your motherland. Are you in a rush to do that? No, I didn't think so. But no, y'all, I'm excited about this. Personally, our home in Florida, any one of those, I got some mentorees I have down there that's going to be involved in this. I would love to get a hold of this curricula, because it's going to be history, folks. It's going to be truth. Bring the truth. Tell the history of America, the good, the bad, the ugly, the happy, the sad. Show America that there were great people that were doing great things that look just like us. We got people that did the same thing like Paul Revere did. We got black people that actually was converting folks. We got people like John Moran, who converted Cherokee Indians. I mean, we got so many things that happened during the time of slavery, but they don't want y'all to know that, because it would show that we were united like y'all didn't think that we were. All they want you to do is get the southern lens of what happened during slavery. That's it. That's all they want you to see, because they keep you full of hatred. But if they show you the truth and all the truth, you're going to sit there and look at it like, wait a minute, we were doing great. If you sit there and find out how we were doing post-slavery as black people, we were called the new middle class of America at one time. But why are they hiding that part of history from us? Because they want you to think that all we were good for was being beat, disadvantaged, slapped around, sexually assaulted, making children. That's all they want you to think of us as, and that's all they want you to think of you as yourself right now, that's all you're good for, because that's how the white men see you. That's how the people want to treat you. Having no idea that you are free. You're free. Go and pursue and do what it is that you want to, whatever it is that you're passionate about. Live life, enjoy life. You only got one journey through this thing called life. And I'll be darned if I'm going to be stuck on some stuff that happened to our ancestors that they only want us to see that's considered bad, but not find out the whole picture of all the great things that people look like us were doing, man. We were killing it. We still are killing it. But they don't want y'all to see that. That's the question you need to ask. Why are they keeping certain things out of our history books that they don't want you Negroes to know about your history, your heritage? Why don't they want you to know these great things that we were doing? That's the question you need to ask. Why do they only want to show us as being depicted as being beaten, smacked around? Ask yourself that question. You shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free. Let me know what y'all think of this, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget to leave a comment in the video after this is over with. Don't forget to give the video a thumbs up so it can be circulated in the YouTube algorithm. You can help support the channel through patreon.com. Check the links in the description down below. That's how you can support the channel. Patreon.com/Model Renaissance Man. You can join on there just for $1. You're paying $12 a year. I know, folks, if it was free, it'd be cool. And the only reason why I post some things on Patreon and I have them tiers on Patreon is because in case YouTube decides to ban me again, I will be putting my content there. And that way, by you following me on patreon.com, you will be able to stay within the loop, all right? I am Ty Smith, model Renaissance man, hoping and praying that every last one of you guys have food, shelter, and clothing, and most of all, I pray every last one of you guys are in great health, mentally, physically, emotionally, and spiritually. God bless you all through Jesus. What's going on, everybody? So, hey, check this out. I appreciate you guys watching. I appreciate you taking time out of your day to view these videos. Do not forget to subscribe to the channel, give the video a thumbs up, and also right here is where you can catch the next video, the latest video that I've done. But like right up here, this is stuff that I've done kind of in the past. So in this area, you might find a video that I've done in the past. It can be funny, it can be something serious, it does not matter. But this is something that you can also do to check out more material that I do in my channel, because I do a lot in this channel, all right? So again, appreciate everything from you guys. Keep on watching it, keep on supporting it, and God bless you all.